Hello all you shining stars, welcome to my channel Shining Star Soup. And today is What's a Soup Saturday. We are doing a story time, something a little bit different to the videos that have been on my channel for a while. So back in 2019, on the cusp of 2020, I had done my life-changing journey. And here I am, 2 years later, to give you an update. Now, for any of you that didn't watch the series, or even if you did watch the series, just a little bit of a summary of what this was all about. 2019 was my year of subscription boxes. I had gotten every subscription box that I was interested in. Money was no object. Every single month I was unboxing anywhere from 3 to 4 different subscription boxes. I would get 3-month subscription boxes from Japan, Tokyo Treat, Yumi Twins. I got boxes from Disneyland, BoxyCharm, FabFitFun, Ipsy. I think I even went as far as to get some boxes exclusive to America, where I would pay even more to have my friend ship the box to me from her house. It was nuts. When I say, like, I had enough boxes to do my best to worst subscription boxes of the month. And there would be sometimes 10 if I remember right. I haven't reviewed my channel in a long time. That was a lot of money. None of those boxes, none of those subscriptions were gifted to me, if I can remember right. And by the end of 2019, I had said that I had spent about $5,000 in subscription boxes. That was probably closer to $8,000 now that I think about it. And I was accumulating debt. It got so bad where all my credit cards were kept from my husband. So basically I would take money from my paycheck, and keep in mind I think I was working back in registries, so back then, like, my paychecks were like not enough to cover all these subscription boxes I was getting, and my credit score was going down, and you know, it got to the point where I had like 2 secret credit cards. I didn't give my husband access to anything. All I did was give him a lump sum towards the house, I believe. Meanwhile, in secret, I was getting this debt. And what I would do is I would have credit cards where I would do cash advances to pay off from credit card number 1 to make the minimum payment on credit card number 2. And this had been going on not just for 2019, but before 2019. I went on trips. I went on a trip to see my friend in the States. That was all done on a secret credit card. My husband, I think, obviously, like, he's not stupid. He knew, but it had reached to a point where there was a boiling point. You know, we were constantly fighting and arguing about money. We still kind of do, right? Because I still go over my spending, but we'll get to that in a minute. So we had a huge fight. Like, we're talking just almost divorce. And the thing was, back in 2019, this was not the first time I had done this. In the past, I would ring, I'm really bad with money. I'm an impulsive spender, impulsive buyer, and like, he had bailed me out a couple times on a couple different occasions where, you know, if this wasn't paid off, I would run up a credit card, I would tell him, he would pay it off. I run up a credit card, I would tell him, he would pay it off. Like, I was toxic to him, to be completely honest with you. But him and I, my husband and I, we have been together. We celebrated our 13th year together. Just this June was our 13th anniversary. So, I mean, this is this is over the years. I mean, he's a wonderful man. He's a wonderful person. I mean, he has his faults, but again, so do I. So does everybody else. Everybody has their faults. And so the major explosion happened where it was pretty much, okay, we need to fix this or we're going to divorce. And we didn't want that. I didn't want that. He didn't want that. Well, actually, he kind of wanted it at the time because he was so friggin' frustrated with me. I let him finally have access to my bank account, and I explained to him what I was doing and what I had done using Peer to PayPal. And I was sitting there one day, and I was like, okay, do I like my marriage? Yes. Do I want to remain married? Yes. Do I enjoy keeping things from my husband? No. Do I feel guilty when I have these credit cards building up and I'm buying these subscription boxes and I'm buying these clothes? And the thing is, do I really have anything to show for it? Like, a lot of those subscription boxes I did end up getting, they didn't make my life, they didn't improve my lifestyle. They didn't give me that many extra watches. They didn't get me monetized on my YouTube channel. They didn't get me thousands of views. And like, what was I doing? You know, ideally I wanted to become the new Canadian subscription box person, right? Like, I reached out on my YouTube channel. I joined groups. I joined cliques. I entered all the giveaways. I gave giveaways, like, constantly. That's another thing for us, a YouTube creator to do giveaways, especially if it's internationally. It does cost a lot of money. And I spent a lot of money in shipping, you know, and those subscribers gained from doing those giveaways, they would hardly ever stick around. Once you stop doing the giveaways, which I did, solely my number of subscribers over the last 3 years have dropped. And I kept my subscriber list private and how many subscribers I have private because it's kind of embarrassing. You know, when you go from, at my peak, I was at 1,300 subscribers. Now I'm sitting at 1,012. You know, I lost hundreds of subscribers just because I stopped putting the money into it. I stopped doing the giveaways. I mean, for me, for some people, YouTube is great. Some people are shining stars. Some people will have 40K subscribers or 1 million subscribers, and you can't really disillusion yourself into thinking, if I do this, then I'll get that. If I do what everybody else is doing, I will do that. It's honestly just by chance. It's all about algorithm, and there's so many things going on behind the scenes that even if you have a great video, even if, you know, you really got to work at it, sometimes you got to spend money. And I went back and forth where I wanted to make my YouTube channel just a memory, just to have my place in the world long after I die, so that I can personally go back and watch my own videos. So now I have shifted from worrying about how many subscribers I have or how many views I'm getting or how close am I to being monetized. You know what? It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter to me. It's my space. Rather this video itself gets 1 view or 10 or 20, it's still my memory. I can play this video back and remember where I was back in 2019 and where I am now on October 28th, 2021. I am planning on premiering this tomorrow or publishing it tomorrow after I do all my editing. So it's going to be a What's a Soup Saturday. All right. So thanks for listening. I'm already 10 minutes in and I'm rambling. Okay. So where am I at now? What I had done at that point. So at that point where my husband and I, you know, I was sitting in my computer room and I was like, how can I make this better? This is going to require a huge, huge effort on my part. So I had told my husband, okay, here's what we're going to do. This is what will work best for me. I am going to give you complete control of my bank accounts. And he also, he's like, I'm going to monitor your credit report. I'm going to know when you are doing, going behind my back and getting extra credit cards. So, like, that was for, like, the last 2 years. Um, all that happens now is that I get my paycheck. He goes into my account, takes out the money, leaves me $100 of spending money, just in case, or he leaves me $100 on my bank account. So if I need it, like if there comes a time where, a place I'm at doesn't take credit cards, then I have it has happened. I have my debit card with my $100 on it in case I need it. I've only pulled out of that once in the last 2.5 years. He takes my money from my paycheck and he pays what needs to be paid. It's my contribution. I have worked full time. When I wasn't working, I had CRB, but now I am working from home full time. So that has been the pattern. That has been the norm for the last 2.5 years. He does everything. He gives me a credit card to do grocery shopping. We have two joint credit cards. I do the grocery shopping, I do the house shopping, because he's working. He works a lot. We're talking like 12-hour days, full time. There was periods of time where he would work 6 days a week, sometimes 7. Now he's got a new job where he's working 5 days a week, 12-hour days. So he makes twice as much money take home that I do. So I'm contributing, but you can't really compare oranges to apples in that way, because I contribute 90% of my paycheck, where he contributes the equivalent of it, but he does make twice as much as I do. He also works harder. He works longer hours. We have different skill sets. That's just how it is. But in that way, we are both giving 100%, we'll just say. We're giving what we need to give. It took 2.5 years. But with him managing the money and him giving me a spending budget, and that spending budget has increased. I went from being able to spend $150 to, that $150 to spending money is money that he doesn't need to know what I bought. The biggest thing that was the problem when I was doing my subscriptions, when I was spending all that money, was that the reason why I hid it from him is because I didn't want him to know what I was spending my money on. I didn't want to be dictated. I didn't want anybody telling me, why did you buy that? It's kind of hard to explain. So we came up with an agreement that spending money, whether it's 150, whether it's under 300, he does not judge me for, he does not ridicule me for, like that kind of thing. And he's been very good about that. So over the years, over the 2.5 years, that's what it happens. I have that 150, increased to 200, increased to 300, increased to 400, and now it's at 500. But even then, the thing that still kind of blows my mind is that even at him allowing me $500 a month just spending money, we have still managed to completely pay off every single credit card that we had. All right, every single one. All those secret credit cards are done. We have paid off our 2 car payments, like our cars, and this is only in 2.5 years, and this is just with him managing my money and me having a spending budget and me being able to buy groceries and house and all this other stuff. This has still happened, and it blows my friggin' mind even now, when we're going into November and I still have $500 spending money over and above what is spent for groceries and house, over and above that. And the cars, our line of credit's paid off. Now we're working on saving, having a base savings. And then once we reach that base savings, we are going to be moving to a house, saving towards for a down payment on a house. So, I mean, my husband is friggin' amazing. I am really proud of myself. That's why this is a confessions and triumphs video. Our goal right now, or at least my goal, is to have our budget, our down payment saved up on a house that is going to be a very nice down payment. And then once we have that nice down payment, then him and I are going to be going house hunting together. But this time, this would be our second home. This first home was a disaster. It was a rush. There were so many mistakes, but in that, it was also a learning experience. He wants, for him to be comfortable in getting a new house, he wants to be able to, we want to be able to know that we don't have to take the first deal. We don't have to rush. We don't have to take the first house. We can find our forever home, for our second home, that'll be perfect for us. And what we're looking for is a house that has a basement, because right now we have a mobile home, right? We have a single level mobile home, 3-bedroom, 1,300 square feet, in a trailer park where we're paying lot rent. Like, we want to, number one, we want to own our own land. We want a double car garage. It is Alberta. We want a basement. We want at least 3 bedrooms. We want at least 2 bathrooms. We got 4 cats, but it's nice to have 2 bathrooms. Just telling you. It's kind of a necessity. If you have more than 2 people, you need 2 bathrooms. Just throwing that out there at least. So things are really, really looking good. And we're aiming, well, yeah, together, I was like 2023, so our 15th anniversary, so 2 years. We're giving us 2 years because we were able to pay off thousands of dollars in debt just doing what we're doing now in 2 years. And that debt that we paid off is less than what our base savings and our houses. Like, we still have a bit on the mortgage, like $80K left on the mortgage. But like if we were able to do that in 2 years, it is very feasible, maybe even sooner, that we'll be able to save up that down payment that we want to save and that base that we want to save up. It's very doable. So that come 2023, we can do it. We can be in a new house. So yeah, so that's I'm gonna wrap this video up at 20 minutes. My advice, if you're here for it at all, towards the end of the video, is communication. Talk. Don't hide. Don't lie. It's easier said than done, believe me. I know. I really know, but it can be done. You need to, the resources are out there. You just have to be willing to make the commitment. And that's the thing. It takes commitment and it takes time. Nothing happens overnight. You don't drop 10 pounds overnight. You don't save up $30,000 overnight. You don't pay off all your debt overnight. It takes work and it takes time. So make the most of the life you have now. And yeah. Alright. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care and have a shining star day.